Welcome to this week's edition of Vanguard News. I'm Colin Hubbard.
And I'm Kaylin Walden, and here are today's top stories.
Advising weeks are underway at the University of North Georgia from October 7th through the 27th, and Josh Glasgow spoke with students and teachers on their opinions about advising.
The University of North Georgia Advising Weeks are underway October 2nd through October 27th. I went around campus to talk to students and teachers to get their advice and their opinions on advising.
My name is Josh. I'm 21. I'm studying digital media and computer science. And I think advising is very important for students, guiding them along their path, making sure they're making the right choices in school.
My name is Darren. I'm a communications multimedia and journalism major. And I think that advising weeks are very helpful, especially with the limited availability in the comm department of classes and things like that. And I'm very fortunate to have Miss Meryl Morris as my advisor. She's really great and she's really helpful.
Just want me to start talking then? Okay. Advising weeks are crucially important for students because if college is expensive and if they don't see an advisor who knows what they're doing, they're going to end up taking too many classes and not taking the right classes, and they'll end up spending more money. They'll have to be in school longer, and there's really no use in that unless they have lots of money and just want to throw it away.
I'm Ashton, and I'm a biology major, and I'm a sophomore. And my opinion on advising weeks is that it is very helpful and it's great.
Hi, my name is Savannah, and I'm majoring in English education, and I feel like advisement is a really good opportunity for students to keep their graduation on track and when they're ready to graduate and at the time that they need to, and it just helps them keep a steady pace on their studies.
Reporting live from University of North Georgia, Gainesville campus, Joshua Glasgow, Vanguard News.
As the end of the semester approaches, the University of North Georgia begins recruiting incoming students to join the Nighthawk family for the spring. We sent Vanguard correspondent Victoria Caput-Gray to the Gainesville campus open house to get a look at how the prospective search for new students is going.
I'm here at the University of North Georgia open house on the Gainesville campus, specifically at the Orientation and Transition Programs table, just one of the many tables set up here for students to see some of the organizations and student services that Nighthawks can use here at the University of North Georgia. On Saturday, October 14th, UNG students and faculty arrived early to begin setting up displays and table decorations in anticipation for many prospective freshmen and transfers looking to join the Nighthawk family. The event, which took place in the Student Center, was the perfect opportunity for a number of organizations to get their name out to the incoming students who may be looking to get involved on campus once they arrive in the spring or fall. Clubs like Japan Club and PRSSA and student services like Student Involvement shared with Vanguard News a bit about their organizations and what they're looking to gain from the open house.
So the PRSSA Club, we are a pre-professional organization aimed around public relations. So that is the public relationship and opinion and association that people have with a company or an organization. And we are super excited to be here today. This is our first open house.
I've had a lot of students coming in and looking at the student organizations we have, all the cultural and special interest and faith-based and academic student organizations that we have on campus, and also they're interested in the other things that student involvement does.
Yes, this open house has been very successful today. We've actually talked to a lot of students about our student leadership program. The students seem to be interested in developing their leadership, and this program here at UNG, the Leadership Certificate Program, is a great program that we've been talking about today.
Despite the open house's success, a number of organizations present at the event were still worried about open house attendance due to a lack of available parking because of a high school cross-country meet that was scheduled at the same time. I'm Victoria Caput-Gray, Vanguard News.
On Monday, October 16th, students got a glimpse of how life after college might be when the University of North Georgia Gainesville campus hosted Making Sense of Life. Students learned how difficult it might be to manage their money after they are out of their parents' house and living off of their own wages. We spent Cody Rogers to get a first-hand experience on how the game was played.
Everyone knows about the popular board game, A Game of Life, but University of North Georgia students got to experience a different, more realistic spin on the game. On Monday, the UNG Student Money Management Center hosted Making Sense of Life, an interactive game in which students could simulate how life after college could potentially be. Eric Jones, the director of the SMMC, did this with the hope that it would give students a somewhat realistic idea of how life would be after they graduate college, and how the decisions they make will impact their way of life.
Well, hopefully it gives them some perspective on how they're planning to spend their money, or if they hadn't had a plan, now they realize they need one. So, yeah, we're just trying to get the students to think proactively about what their expenses are going to be like, not only after school, but hopefully while they're in school, too.
Those who participated made their way around the Ralph and Mary Cleveland room in the Nesbitt building, stopping by each table to answer various questions about how they plan on living their life. These questions impacted how much money they earned and how much money they spent. The goal of the game was to make it through the last table with a total monthly income that was higher than the total monthly expenses. While not everyone achieved this surplus goal, Eric Uskonga was one of them.
It's giving me insight on, you have to spend on stuff, and sometimes stuff does happen where you'll either get more money or lose money.
Christy Morrison was in charge of the utilities table, where she asked students what kind of utilities they wished to have and gave them an idea of how much it would cost.
Hopefully it did help them prepare, because utilities is something that you absolutely cannot function without. Everybody needs electric and everybody needs to take a shower.
I'm Cody Rogers, reporting for Vanguard News.
The men's University of North Georgia soccer team had to play with a man down playing against LMU due to a red card that was given to UNG. Our correspondent Marcus Etienne checked out the action to see how the Nighthawks responded.
The University of North Georgia men's soccer team hosts Lincoln Memorial University at the University of North Georgia Soccer Complex in Dahlonega. In the 9th minute, Alex Grant netted one in off an assist from Ivan Akimovich to put North Georgia up 1-0. North Georgia's keeper, Matt Sharman, had a nice block to help preserve the Nighthawks' lead. Ronaldo de Jesus kicked the equalizer for the Rail Splitters to make the score 1-1 in the 68th minute. Felipe Machado headed one in the 71st minute to give the Rail Splitters a 2-1 lead. LMU held on to win, 2-1. I'm Marcus Etienne, Vanguard News.
The women's University of North Georgia soccer team defeated Lander University 5-0 on Saturday in Dahlonega to bounce back from dropping 2 games last week. Our correspondent Marcus Etienne went to the game to check out the action.
UNG's women's soccer team hosts Lander at the University of North Georgia Soccer Complex in Dahlonega. UNG got on the board first when Taylor Malsek scored the first goal in the 10th minute. Sarah Flores evened things up for Lander when she scored in the 13th minute, tying the game 1-1. Later in the game in the second half, Michelle Allen gave UNG their 4th goal in the 77th minute to put them up 4-1. Jordan added the 5th goal in the 86th minute for UNG.
We'll say, what do you think made the difference in today's game to dominate the whole game, pretty much the whole game? Well, I think sometimes, as hard as it was to take that Flagler loss, sometimes the losses are what expose your weaknesses, and they make you go back and kind of soul search a little bit to fix your weaknesses. And so, it was a tough week for us, dropping 2 games last week, but it also exposed some of our weaknesses, which we've gone back and worked on. And I think tonight's just proof of, how coachable we were to fix those things and, get a lot better attacking-wise at the same time.
I'm Marcus Etienne, Vanguard News.
All University of North Georgia campuses had the opportunity last week to compete in a golf tournament free of charge for students. With beautiful weather and friendly competition, Colin and I found the event to be a real hit among the students.
You can release the hounds anytime you're ready.
Students were back at Chicopee Woods this past week for their 4th annual intramural golf tournament open to any of the University of North Georgia campuses. After a few practice shots on the driving range, the competitors were given instructions and released to start the round. Each team completed their 9-hole round over the course of 3 hours and got to enjoy a free round under fantastic conditions.
And being outside, it's great. It's good to make the community tie. I think with the golf course guys, Al did a great job getting things organized.
I love coming out here, just enjoying some time with my classmates, a little bit of free golf, a little bit of competition, a little bit of camaraderie between the schools. It's a lot of fun.
So make sure you sign up when intramural golf takes its trip back to Chicopee Woods next fall. One of the most decorated race car drivers of all time, Elio Castroneves, announced last week that he would no longer be competing in the IndyCar series. I went to check out the action from Road Atlanta. Some of the best drivers in racing gathered at Road Atlanta this past weekend to compete in the annual Petit Le Mans in Braselton, Georgia. Competitors from IndyCar, Supercar, and others will compete in several different classifications on Saturday with the hopes of walking away a champion. But for one driver, it was something fairly new. Elio Castroneves, one of the most decorated IndyCar drivers of all time, was making his first appearance at the Petit Le Mans in 9 years. The 3-time Indianapolis 500 winner was teamed up with former 500 winner and NASCAR driver Juan Pablo Montoya for Team Penske and 2016 IndyCar champion Simon Pagenaud. But it was something Castroneves hadn't done in quite some time. Castroneves announced prior to the race that he would no longer be competing in IndyCar and would now be driving full-time for Team Penske in its Supercar series. That meant that he would be trading time with both Montoya and Pagenaud too in a 3-driver format.
The car, obviously, as you can see behind me, there's a roof on top of my head, so it's even that it's a hard roof, but it's still completely different. The strategy is different. There's so much more traffic around, and there's a lot of details that considering that I'm going to have to pick up and learn quick. But I'm excited. The good news, the team being in this situation before, and I'm really excited for this new challenge.
Longtime friend and teammate, Montoya, was happy to have Castroneves aboard full-time with him in Supercar and is looking forward to getting to race with him as a teammate.
I think having him in the team as well is going to be great. And I think the older guys in different cars and the experience in different cars, I think is going to help as well.
The news of Castroneves sent shockwaves through the IndyCar garage, which had everyone talking about it, as well as wishing him well in his new racing endeavors.
I just wish that he had been able to leave on his own terms. That's the only thing. But other than that, he's had a great career. He's managed to make it without actually breaking anything, I think. He's an exceptional driver, a heck of a qualifier, especially on ovals, and we'll miss him for sure.
He's a big part of IndyCar. He's obviously one of the most popular drivers there, one of the most successful. But he's a Penske lifetimer, and a new opportunity came up for him to join into Penske's new effort, and he's going right into a great situation, with a great team, and he'll still be doing the Indy 500, so he kind of gets the best of both worlds.
Castroneves knows that he will be missed in IndyCar, but hopes that he can continue those relationships as well as build new ones.
I mean, obviously the fans, and hopefully they will be able to follow me as well around and coming over. You're talking about 20 years, and there was a lot that probably I'm going to have to readjust. But in the end of the day, I'm still going to have friends up down there, and I'm going to make new friends down here. So it's just make the network bigger.
I'm Colin Hubbard, reporting from Road Atlanta.
The long-awaited sequel to the critically acclaimed first South Park game, The Stick of Truth, finally arrived on Tuesday, October 17th. We sent our own Hunter Payne to find out a little bit more about the game.
The second game in the South Park series just released this week. Let's take an in-depth look at what makes this game compelling. Trey Parker and Matt Stone, who made the show, also were the masterminds behind the game. As you get involved into the game, you can tell that they borrowed what was so successful with the show to make the game as successful as well. This cutscene here will show you the similarities between the game and the show.
We are two sides at war. But war isn't going to save our city. Time travel is my only hope now.
Playing as a new kid who just moved into the town of South Park, you get to customize your character however you'd feel, choosing between hair, makeup, facial hair, eyewear, clothes, and the color of your hands to really enthrall you into the game and your character. One of the things that makes this game such a transition from the show is that in between battles and roaming the town of South Park, you get to watch cutscenes that make you feel like you're actually watching the show while also playing the game. One of the great things about the game is not just the player's ability to explore the town of South Park, but also to explore the houses of the characters that they've loved during the show. Creators of the game decided to go with more of a tactical gameplay style than your typical RPG from the first game. It has enhanced and improved the ability of combat in this game.
The Gainesville Theater Alliance is at it again with Tappet sensation Crazy for You, already at full swing in rehearsals. Vanguard correspondent Victoria Capet-Gray sat down with the director and choreographer Barbara Hartwig to find out just what the feel-good show was all about.
It's about a guy named Bobby Child who is working at a bank because that's what his mother wants him to do and that's what he's supposed to do, but he wants to be a performer, he wants to dance, he wants to be in the theater business. That's all he wants to do. And she sends him to Dead Rock, Nevada to shut down the theater there. And he kind of falls in love with the one girl in the town. And it's just how the two get together. But in the meantime, this whole town of Dead Rock, of cowboys and nobodies, all who do nothing all day, all of a sudden find a purpose and find joy in bringing this theater to life. This show I saw on Broadway back in 1992 with Jodie Benson, and who of course is part of this community now. And it changed my life. It's just seeing Susan Stroman's choreography, which was so inventive and so unique at the time, really made me go, yeah, I want to be a choreographer. That's what I want to do.
You're doing it facing front, in back, body flex, you turn, and then we start out here.
When I talked with Jim about this show, I said, are you looking for Susan's choreography? He said, yeah, I think so. I said, okay, and I already had it. So that was great. I'd already documented it, I had it, and now we're setting it on this, but it's probably going to be about 90% the true choreography.
Thank you for watching this week's edition of Vanguard News. I'm Colin Hubbard.
And I'm Kaylin Walden, and keep soaring, Nighthawks.